What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened over the last week in the scale world of RC. This has been a very busy last week, even with the holiday. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, hit that like button, and let's jump into this week's topics. First up this week is another release from Proline in the no prep scene, and this is a Barracuda body. This one I'm sure is going to be another popular option alongside of the Nova. This one looks good and is a licensed version of one of the bodies, not like the Octane or some of those that are really good looking option. We haven't seen full pictures of it yet, just one rear 3/4 view, but looks really good in that bright green Mopar color. No details specifically have been released on this, but for the most part, I think that'll probably fall right in line with the rest of Proline's bodies in both price and size. So if your no prep car needs a new body, you just want a new body, or you still haven't jumped into the no prep scene, another good opportunity has arisen. Is arisen a word? Okay, it is. Another Proline product for this week is the tough color version of the Heatwave body for the Slash 4x4. This comes pre-cut and it's that tough color, which I mistakenly thought previously that they were a tougher body, but what it really is just black material that it's molded in. So if you scuff it, it stays black. That's the only difference. It's not a tougher body. So basically all you have to do is pull this thing out of the bag and sticker slap it with all of the decals that are included. Proline has previously offered the pre-painted bodies with the Heatwave visual livery on it, but this is just a different way to do it and a lot cheaper. If you've ever wanted a miniature version of Chris Eisenhower's truck, here's an easy way to get it on the cheap. Next, we've got a sale from Horizon Hobby. Now, Horizon announced the Sun's Out, Fun's Out 15% off summer sale on a number of items. And it's a pretty large assortment of items, including a number of RTRs. There's Axial SCX 10.2s, there's 1.9 Wraiths. If you take the sale price that we already were seeing on the 1.9 Wraith, for example, at $329, and you take 15% off of that, you get that Wraith 1.9 at about $280. A pretty good deal for a really fun car. And that's also the case on a number of other RTRs, as well as several other products, from tools and batteries, chargers, pit stands, a bunch of planes if you're interested in that. Worth checking out the huge list of items that you can get at 15% off. So even if you're not in the market for something right now, this sale goes on through the end of July. So check it out, see if there's something that maybe you need to pick up before this sale ends. Next, we've got another servo winch option that just hit the market from Powerhobby. This is a servo winch that is basically a take it out of the bag and it's ready to go. These are starting to become a little bit more common, but this one is quite the winch. This is rated up to 8.4 volts and is rated at 760 ounce inches at that voltage, and the speed is also good. So it's not just their super geared down version, it's got both speed and power. And luckily for me, but more so one of you, I've got one here. This is the new 770 winch, which we were just talking about. I've got it as well as the spool that's included and some of the steel braided winch line. But the reason that I mentioned that it'll be lucky for one of you is that this is going to get dropped into our custom build for the 50,000 subscriber giveaway. And along with that, they also sent one of their 14 volt direct power servos. This thing's rated up to 900 ounce inches at 14 volts. A lot of rated power. Never tried one of these servos before, but we'll give it a shot in one of these rigs. Last week, I dropped the first video on the custom build that we're going to be doing for the 50,000 subscriber giveaway milestone. I'm coming up on that number and I want to start a project that we're going to give away once we hit it. So Powerhobby sent one of these to get dropped into that truck, and I think this will be a good fit. I hadn't planned on a winch prior to that, so this is going to be the perfect addition. And if you haven't entered yet, the 50,000 subscriber giveaway is going on now, and you can enter daily. The links to enter in the giveaway will be in the description below. Go check that out. There's a number of ways to enter, and again, some of them you can actually do daily. So I appreciate everyone who has entered already. I'm looking forward to giving it away, and hopefully it goes to one of you guys who watch often. Therefore, the daily entry thing is a little bit of a bonus. I got a few questions about it. Gleam is the website that I use to it aggregates all of your guys' entries for me, and it chooses the winner for me. That way I don't have to try and track who entered or anything like that. It makes it super easy. But if your YouTube name doesn't match the name that you entered with, it doesn't matter. Whatever details you put in there is how they choose it. So in the end, I will be able to contact you based on the information that you input. It doesn't have to match here. In the end, we'll just confirm that you were subscribed and we'll be good to go. As long as you're subscribed before the giveaway ends, all is well. Next, let's jump into some releases from RC four-wheel drive. First, we've got a Falcon Wild Peak tire. This is a 4.24 inch tall version, so just a little bit out of that class 1 range if you're looking at, actual competition with it. But these Wild Peaks are not super aggressive. They're more super scale. The tread pattern is pretty tight overall, but it just looks like a fantastic all-terrain replica. Just the details on them are really, really nice. Not probably going to be killer rock crawling tires, but for you guys building scale trucks, yet another option. RC four-wheel drive has got a number of these type of tires that are just high detail, maybe not the most aggressive, but if you've got one of those builds that's aimed this direction, I think you'll be pretty happy with it. Next though, they do have a tire that's a little bit more, it has the possibility at least of being a higher performing comp style tire. These are 4.17 inch tall, so they fit into that class 1 spec. These are a Dick Cepek tire. Never been my favorite as far as design goes, but a very realistic model tire. This is the Dick Cepek Extreme Country. Just a couple more tires to add to RC four-wheel drive's huge catalog of other tires to choose from. I'll put links to both of those tires in the description below. You can go check those out. Also, while you're there, if you're looking for some wheels, possibly, they also released some new 5-lugged stamped steel wheels with like a chrome beauty ring around the outside. Have a little bit of a dish, a little bit different style face overall. Look good, and the price is like under 60 bucks for a set of 4. Stamped steel wheels are a decent option for, kind of a low buck way to get some bead locks on your rig. And again, I think these fit kind of a specific style. So if you're going for an older school style, more street look, another great choice. Last week on the live show that Matt from the Scale Builders Guild and myself do, we had James Knight on as a guest, and he, gave us some background, told us what he's been up to. And while he was on, he gave us a sneak preview of a product that he officially launched later last week, and that is a new front bumper for the Element Enduro Trail Runner. And this is a DeMello off-road front bumper for it. Kind of gives it more of an actual 4Runner look rather than the generic version that it comes as. You're going to be able to pick this up from Knight Customs either in a digital file to print yourself, or I believe you're going to be able to buy it printed through somebody like Shapeways. Knight Customs sells the digital file so you can print it yourself on his My Mini Factory, and I'll link to both the Shapeways store and the My Mini Factory store below. You can choose which one possibly suits you best. And thanks again to James for coming on to the live show with Matt and I, even though it's a huge time difference between him down in Australia now versus us here in, North America at least. Then next, an exciting release from Tamiya with a Yaris. Well, a Yaris. Who just dreams of having a Toyota Yaris as their RC model? Like, you can, a tiny McLaren or a Yaris, the same price, but somebody's gonna go, I want a Yaris. Comes on the Tamiya M05 chassis, which I believe is the front wheel drive. I don't know, like, it's a Yaris. Baffled. I mean, really, just like, who's choosing this? I mean, they even have a picture of, like, on the showroom at Tamiya, that an actual Yaris and a toy Yaris. But in the background, there's like a beautiful Porsche, a number of motorcycles. You're just running out of stuff to do. I'll take the SN95 Mustang over this Yaris, but only in RC. I think I'd rather have a Yaris in the real world. Next, for some of you guys who have Vanquish portals, either the VS410 Ultra version or the SCX102 portal version, there's a company out of Spain making some brass portal covers, both front and rear. So if you really want to add some brass to your Vanquish portals, now you have an option. You got to get it out of Spain though. At this point, it looks like there's some fairly limited information on it. Most of it is kind of poorly translated, but I'll link to where you can get that information at least in the description below. You can go check it out, see if you're interested, see if it's something that you want to add. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the live Sunday 3D printing feed that we've been doing every week. Previously, I was calling it STL Sunday, but kind of figuring out that unless you're already into 3D printing pretty decently, a lot of people don't know what STL means. So renaming it something much more basic, just 3D printing Sunday. But over the last couple of weeks, we've done a couple of fun projects. The week before last, we did a little miniature skee ball machine, and John's Tiny Trucks on Instagram did a really cool version of it. He sent me some videos of it fully printed and detailed, and it's fully functioning. John put a funny little message on the one that he printed. I'll link to John's Instagram in the description below. Thanks to John, he did a great job on that print. And I saw a number of other ones getting printed as well, but didn't see any detailed up yet. So again, if you guys do print any of the files from 3D Printing Sunday, make sure and tag me or, mention me in your story on Instagram and I'll repost them. I really enjoy seeing all of those. Yesterday, well, 2 days ago when you're watching this, we did a scale washing machine. Since everyone seems to take photos of their RC car on top of their washing machine, I figured a scale version of a washing machine to put in your scale shop to take scale photos of. So we did that, and we even made it have a functional drum on the inside that has a pulley on the back so you can spin it. I end up having a lot of fun during those live feeds. So I do those every Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So jump in on that if you ever have the chance. Basically, the whole point of it is to just go from start to finish modeling up a project from scratch, kind of talking through the way that I think or the way that I design to end up with the final project. And then at the end, I always give away the files on my Thingiverse. So everything we're doing is for everybody else for free. You can find all of the past projects on my Thingiverse. I'll link to that in the description below as well. Should give you plenty of things to print if you got a 3D printer that you just haven't turned on a little bit. And lastly for the week, we've got a release from a company that I've really never heard of before. This is the Absima Sherpa, and this is an RTR vehicle that's very Jeep-esque, at least, not officially Jeep, but it's a portal axled RTR. It comes in 3 different colors. It doesn't look like just another, Chinese developed model, because I haven't seen one exactly like it before, and that's usually something that you can note when you see those other RTRs that get released. This one appears like maybe it is an original design. It's hard to tell for sure though. Overall though, it's like they're trying to get into it. Maybe they don't fully understand the market yet though. The design of everything is okay, but just not quite up to, I think, what a lot of the other vehicles that are available right now are. The axles have a servo on axle, but it's fairly well hidden. It appears like it probably has lockable differentials, which would be something that only the TRX4 could match. But even in the fairly long running video that they put out, you don't necessarily see that being taken full advantage of. The running video in general just doesn't showcase a lot of its capabilities very well. I'll link to it in the description below. You can check out their video, see what you think for yourself. There's a number of other just kind of odd things that they've done. It's got a steering stabilizer style link from the servo to the knuckle. Can't tell if it's functioning or if it's just for looks, but it's also too big to be like a great scale item. But the one thing that I noticed most in the entire running video is that this thing does come with a fairly nice light kit as far as, number of lights. It's got marker lights and fog lights and a light bar and lights on the hood and lights in the headlights, lights in the taillights, tons of lights. But it also has one of the light kits that when you turn the wheel, the blinkers come on. And it's like, you're not gonna see anybody using their blinker when they're doing a trail ride. It's a cool feature for a car that's gonna go on road, but even then, most of the time we're, acting like we're racing these type of cars, and you're not gonna see anyone using a blinker on the racetrack either. So unless you're buying that freaking Tamiya Yaris and you want to act like you're driving your kids carefully to school, what's the point of adding these blinkers to these light kits? Why? Looks good on paper. We've all had those ideas. Reality, it's just a poor choice. But if you'd like to find any more information on this Absima Sherpa with the angriest of grills. I'll link to it in the description below. You can go check it out, find out all of the details. And for this week's question, I think we're gonna roll with something right from that topic that we were just on with that Absima. And what is the scale detail you least like to see? I think blinkers and light kits are terrible. I know a lot of people are going to say the absence of a driver, which obviously is something that you will find as a common theme in most of my trucks. But what is the thing that you least like to see integrated as a scale detail in a vehicle? But that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of the week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.